should be recording in now.
Go ahead, Nick.
Mr. Griffith, thank you for welcoming all of us here. Obviously, it's privilege and a pleasure to be here with the students to hear their pitch. My name is Nick Neptune. I'm the founding general manager and director for a transfer company, and we have been involved in these conversations with our students, the student team, about this challenge that the property is facing as it emerges from COVID-19 and seeks to continue its legacy of programming and events that are both very forward-facing, community-facing, as well as at the same time sustaining for the property and its vendors. We have with us Miss Rachel Burbeck, who is, again, as related earlier, a powerhouse events coordinator, manager, director, and in every single way. And she's taking the helm now and moving forward as it relates to programming and events and how we engage and interact with our guests and future clients. And so it really means a lot to me to have her on the call with us today, because truly she's taking the baton and running with it, for the next so many months and years ahead. So it's very exciting to hear from the students. And yeah, Ms. Burbeck, you want to say a few words?
Well, I just want to thank all of you for having me here, and also Nick for letting me be a part of this. I'm taking a baton that Nick definitely had this amazing reputation for transfer that I knew as a patron as well. And so to work here and be a part of this community and to help create more togetherness and just more amazing programs here, it's just an honor, and I'm just so happy to be able to do that. And thank you, Nick, for that lovely introduction. But yeah, just trying to do as good a job as Nick Neptune.
And to be very clear, she's already exceeded everything. Okay, so I think Ms. Burbeck's being very kind, but she came in with a phenomenal background and reputation, and having worked with everybody and anybody from corporate clients, huge hotel, food and beverage events, to working in the community, working with major music venues. So honestly, she's already blowing it out of the water. I think that regardless of anybody's background, though, at the end of the day, it's always appreciated hearing new, forward-thinking ideas. Nobody has a monopoly on good ideas. All right, no matter how young, no matter how old, no matter what experiences you're bringing to the table, at the end of the day, I think both Rachel and I really do appreciate hearing, from effectively what's next. I mean, honestly, when we're talking about Riley, Murphy, Ian, Sophia, and I think Lauren, you are the future, okay? And so, holy moly, we need to buckle up and get ready for you. So, anyways, all that to say, very excited to hear your pitch, your proposal, and the potential solutions for a transfer company as we emerge from COVID-19.
Thanks, y'all. And obviously, Nick and Rachel, are welcome to leave your cameras on until the Q&A part or whatever. So yeah, I really also just want to thank Nick and Rachel for being here and for being willing to allow the students to work on this, and Nick just bringing his energy and enthusiasm to this has been great. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw it to the students. Like Nick said, we've got Ian, Riley, Lauren, Murphy, and Sophia, who will introduce themselves and begin their pitch. And I'll be navigating through the slides, so I'm going to turn my camera off so you don't get to see me make weird faces as I try to figure out where we're at. And if I'm not keeping up with y'all, feel free to let me know when to advance.
So I guess I'm up first. So hi, my name is Riley Galvin. I'm a freshman at Broughton.
Hi, my name is Murphy. I'm Mahoney, and I'm also a freshman at Broughton.
Hey, my name is Ian Ballester, and I'm a sophomore at Broughton.
Hi, my name's Sophia Mastropalo. I'm a sophomore at Broughton.
Hi, I'm Lauren Bolin, and I'm also a sophomore at Broughton.
Nick, as you know, Riley, Ian, Sophia, Lauren, and I all volunteered to participate in this District C opportunity. We have spent several weeks working together and are really excited to present our solutions to you today. We enjoyed learning about transfer and feel confident we've developed some creative options for you to consider. If you have any questions, we can answer those for you at the end of our slideshow. Mr. Griffith, if you could change the slide. Okay. As we know, transfer company's main focus has been the community, but by doing so, we have noticed that you have sacrificed marketing opportunities to grow your business. We believe you must find the balance between being a thriving business and a supportive member of the community. In a year rocked by COVID, finding creative ways to build your brand will help bring in the customers you want and deserve, as well as becoming a desired destination the entire city knows about. We know you want a diverse group of people interacting with your business. So during our research, we found that Transfer Company currently attracts middle-aged and middle-class people that are repeat and loyal customers, which is great. However, there is room to expand and grow. Knowing that adults such as parents, grandparents, and middle-aged people are enjoying Transfer, we decided to focus on the people who weren't interacting with the business as much, like people our age. We did a lot of online research, we brainstormed ideas, and we came up with ideas on how to attract younger, more diverse generations by focusing on things that we like and things that seem to grab the attention of many. Through this process, we came up with different solutions that we think could really help Transfer Company. We are excited to present these to you now.
So we came up with 3 solutions. The first one of which was we said we should invest more in social media platforms and online presence. So when considering our new target audience, the first place we shot to was social media. In this day and age, social media is a dominant force in our society and allows for companies to reach audiences like never before. Catering towards this crowd digitally can bring in new customers from all around the city, county, state, and even the country who are attracted by the food, the atmosphere, or the sense of community at Transfer Company. We know technology and social media is a really broad topic, so we decided to split up into 4 different categories: updating, exposure, influence, and inquiry. For updating, we focused on 2 main ways Transfer is present on the internet: their website and their social media. Early on in this process, we visited the Transfer Company website, and we had some difficulty determining the hours of certain restaurants, and we struggled to find updated seating capacity and procedures put in place because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then for social media, we all agreed that you should venture out with your content to feature different things about Transfer Company, not just the food. We believe the best ways you can accomplish all of these is by hiring or designating a qualified individual to run and update the website and socials. For exposure, we found that sponsoring ads on social media would be very beneficial to the company. While it may take a decent amount of money out of your pocket, we believe that the long-term impacts of exposing your business to a wide array of people who'd otherwise probably never would have heard about Transfer would more than compensate for your investment. On that note, however, you shouldn't limit yourselves to one audience, but instead try to cater to everybody. Bring some variety to your ads and make them flashy and noticeable so that people will be drawn to them. For influencing, you can make marketable attractions that will draw people in. Things like murals, artwork, live music, which you already have, and things that you already do. But also things like, also the things that areas people can take pictures at, movie nights, which we'll get to later, and good deals that people who maybe aren't as willing to rake out as much money can't refuse, like us teenagers. For inquiry, we found the value in reaching out to the community, not just your customers and the people attending your business, but everybody. Reach out to people who are coming and ask what they like and don't like. Take their criticism and their praise, but then also reach out to people who aren't coming. Ask them why. Get their reasons for being a little hesitant to come. If they don't know about Transfer Company, hey, you've got the word out to them now. But after compiling all this data, come together and look at trends, realize what the people want or want more of. You can use this to better understand your customers, audience, community, and better cater to them and their needs. Fun.
Okay, so our second solution was movie nights at Transfer. Transfer Company has large amounts of space, and one more way that the space could be utilized is through a movie night. Both families and teens enjoy movies, so it would be a good way to attract crowds and gain business for Transfer. Additionally, this would be easy considering the ballroom is so large and can accommodate around 300 people. The times for this event. We would suggest that this occurs weekly or bi-weekly, but whatever works best for the company. We know that it can be difficult with scheduling and that kind of stuff, so it really depends on what works best for y'all. The space. We decided that the ballroom would be the best space for this event, seeing as it can accommodate so many people. Now with COVID, more people are comfortable being outside, but since the outside space is smaller and so many people enjoy eating out there, we still agree that the ballroom would be the best place. To make people more comfortable with COVID and the pandemic with this event, we said that there should be a sign up with limited capacity. If you have a sign up, you're more easily able to tell who's coming and you can predict the crowds. The benefit to Transfer. A movie night would be benefit to Transfer by bringing younger generations in and allowing people of all ages to enjoy Transfer's food hall and company. We would recommend that this event is free because it would attract people like myself and teens who maybe can't afford all of the food. In order to earn money from this, however, you would only allow food from your food hall to be purchased instead of allowing people to bring in snacks. Outside, again, it might be difficult with COVID and having such limited space, but we think that the ballroom would be a good space and could attract so many people. And finally, economics. We said that this would be catered towards everyone, but especially our generation. It definitely depends on the movie, and that could change weekly or however much you would like to have this event, so that it could cater towards all different people. Okay, and I'm done.
As you can see in the picture above, Transfer's ballroom provides us with high ceilings and blank walls that are perfect for projecting a movie. The room is big, so if movie nights start during COVID, there is plenty of room for social distancing. Next slide.
We found that one of the best ways to get the younger generation of people to come is through electronics, specifically the ones glued to their bodies all the time. Transfer would hire someone to create an app that would act like a mini website with other features in it that show off Transfer. It would tell you about the place and clearly show all of the restaurants available. You could tap on a restaurant to see information about it and see what's on the menu. If you decide that you like something on there, you may select one of the food options off the menu, add it to your cart, and order it directly through the app. Another feature the app would have is a reward system. You would have to create an account and there would be a section inside of the app for it. You would tap on the reward system and it would pop up with all 11 restaurants in Transfer. There would be a stamp next to each one, and if you ate at a place like Mama Crow's, an employee would ask you if you have the Transfer Co. app. This would probably be the best way to get the word out about it. If you do have the app, the customer could scan a barcode and a check would appear next to the stamp at the place they ate at. And when you get all 11 checks, you would show it to the cashier and get a 15% discount on your next meal or a new reward that Nick came up with. Implementing the app into Transfer Co. would bring in a younger group of people who are on their phones all the time. It would encourage them to try new restaurants, and it would make it more affordable for people with less money. This would cost money to create the app and hire a team for it, but I feel as though it would bring in a lot more people to Transfer. Next slide.
In conclusion, Transfer Co. is one of the hottest and upcoming businesses in downtown Raleigh. It is close to being one of the most recognizable places that Raleigh has to offer. We firmly believe that Transfer will be the most popular spot in Raleigh with these solutions. Not only will it be a gathering place for everyone in the community, but it will be the greatest place to dine in Raleigh. We would be glad to answer any questions if you have any.
My friends, if I may, I almost don't know where to begin. You know, there's such a feeling of elation and joy. You know, I'm on the verge of breaking out into tears of happiness, okay? In all seriousness, everything that you've articulated, everything that you've just shared, these are legit solutions and ideas that this property could run with. The thoughtfulness, the creativity, you know, just the willingness to kind of push back with constructive feedback, it's phenomenal. I'm blown away, absolutely blown away. I mean, I honestly, if I had the resources, I would say hire all of them right now. I mean, it's so impressive. Ms. Burbeck, do you have any thoughts you'd like to share? I mean, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled by this. Well done, well done.
Well, I don't want them to take my job away, but I mean, it seems like they're qualified, so.
We need to come work with you. I mean, the thing is, you've got some aces up your sleeve as well, Ms. Burbeck, and I think that you could learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, these kids. Oh.
We've definitely thought about starting an internship for events here, so just putting that out there. But no, this was definitely well thought out. It's kind of interesting to see kind of this outsider perspective, but yet, you know, there's so much truth in everything you presented here. I wish there was a better photo of the ballroom, but that's on me. So no, I'm just teasing. I do love your movie night, actually. So your movie night is an idea we've already been working on. So that's something that would be really fun here. Capacities with COVID have been very tricky. And so I have not been allowing more than 60 people in the space, even though I could allow 100, but that's not going to have social distancing involved. So I have you know, I've had these conversations with so many clients of what it looks like to do an event in here. And, we just little by little, we're working towards that and trying to figure out what's the best way right now with social distancing. So, but yeah, these were very valid, pitches and solutions. And I thank you guys for the time you put into it. It was really well done for sure.
And I just want to echo what Ms. Verbeck said about the movie nights. That has long been, a topic of conversation at the property, given that we have this gorgeous, ballroom space. There has been some experimentation. We, in fact, did host a bike-in movie night for Bike Month I think it was not last year, but the year before last, before COVID. We've had some successful experiences experimenting with movies in the ballroom. And I almost wonder, and Rachel, this is a conversation we can have separately, but I wonder if, we could start small, maybe where there's like a cap in the ballroom of like 50 people or 60 people on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, where, it's a movie night. But then who knows, maybe because the word gets out there, and as COVID restrictions are increasingly lifted in the months ahead, we can kind of gradually open up movie nights to more people. And then by that point, you're going to have some anticipation and build up, because it's like, I couldn't get a ticket. They were already sold out of the ticket. But then by later in the year, we can host, 100, maybe 200 people. Who knows? But I love the movie night idea. And then I think I saw somebody in the chat just now ask a question about specific, maybe Ms. McFarland, a question about social media platforms specifically for your peers. What exactly, are y'all on Instagram? Are there other social media platforms that you would recommend potential engagement with?
Okay, so I can take this one. So when we based a lot of our information off of Instagram, because I think that's one that most of us had. But we also kind of focused on things like Twitter, Facebook, things that a lot of older generations tend to have. But then also things like TikTok, which is a very young thing that a lot of young people have, that you could also utilize that to get on people's feeds and get the word out about that there.
Which an intern could do. You could have an intern come through and maybe make some TikTok videos. Who knows? Rachel and I could do a dance in the background or something. We could do some choreography. We've done it before. We're not that old.
Oh, well, I don't know how old you are. You won't tell me.
We got him.
Just teasing. But yeah, so we do actually have a marketing team here who's incredible, and they take care of our Instagram, our Facebook, all socials, and I don't think they're on TikTok, but that could definitely be something fun to look into. But with what was it? You guys were talking about an app. We are actually in the midst of releasing more so an ordering app. I like the idea that yours is more interactive, where it becomes personal, and you guys are like, oh hey, you can get you guys were talking about like recommendations from like Nick or transfer staff, right? Is that kind of what you were going off of? Okay, I think that's really cool. But yeah, that could be really something fun and different. But we are working on an ordering app with each restaurant, which is supposed to be a little bit different than like all these other ones that you see out there, like Grubhub and everything. But yeah, I did love that idea. I thought that was really fun. So.
Yeah, I'd like to echo that, Ms. Burbeck. I thought the sort of idea of a transfer app, creating another opportunity for engagement with the guest that's, that can be personalized, where there's a reward system sort of built in. I thought it was a great idea. That is a brilliant idea. And it's good to know that the team right now, in working on what could begin as like an ordering platform, especially for catering and events, perhaps that could expand in the months and years ahead into something more that, achieves what was sort of being discussed here with solution number 3. But I mean, everything that y'all talked about, sort of expanding and updating, our efforts via social media, the movie nights, the transfer app, I mean, these are all legit solutions. And again, the whole presentation was just phenomenal. You should be very proud of what you've done here. I mean, you clearly put in the time, you clearly put in the work, and it's just very impressive. I mean, it would be a privilege to continue to work with you. That's just the bottom line.
I concur.
Thank y'all so much. Yeah. Do we have maybe questions from the audience that is here? Does anyone want to ask the students anything? Sort of open it up. Okay, so we have a question.
Ms. McFarland was asking about the hardest part of the project. I would be curious to hear that. Was there a particular part of the project that you found challenging or so kind of difficult to sort through?
I would say the hardest part for us was trying to like schedule things because we're all so busy in like school and then them switching school because I mean some people are now in person. But I think we managed it very well. I mean, we were all very open with each other and very good at communicating. And I mean, I'm very lucky to work with these people because I've learned so much from them.
Yeah, I would agree with Sophia. I also feel like when we were first starting out trying to figure out what path we wanted to take and where we wanted to go, it took us a little bit and we definitely had like I feel like there was a meeting where we just kind of sat here and talked for like an hour and a half and tried to figure out what we wanted to do. So I feel like that was probably the most difficult, but it also helped set up for our presentation and the solutions that we came up with.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. And just like finding like the different people that are attending transfer was also kind of hard, but like without our research, we probably wouldn't have done it. But since we did research so much, it got easier and easier as we like proceeded with that. So
Yeah, I definitely think that the hardest part for this was trying to find like this group of people to target and to try and get them here more.
I agree with that. I think there was one meeting where we really dug ourselves into a rut where we're kind of like we kind of knew what our problem was and we really wanted to jump to the solutions yet, but we kind of had to hold back because we knew we couldn't get there quite yet. So we had like an entire meeting dedicated to just like where do we need to go from now so we can make sure we're all done with the problem, know our audience and everything like that, and then we can jump to the solutions after that. I think that was probably the hardest part, but it was really beneficial for us in the long run.
I love it. I absolutely love it. There's another question here about, again, from Ms. McFarland about one skill, or maybe there's more than one skill that you think you're kind of walking away from, like this project with. I mean, do you think after all the work, the time, the energy, that you kind of build on one or two skills that you can kind of carry forward with future school and work?
I have definitely learned how to work with others more, like better, because I like to kind of like take the lead and decide everything. But throughout this project, I've tried to get everyone's ideas out and just get everyone to like communicate, which is and not take the lead as much as I usually do, which I think I can take to the future things.
I just say real quick, Murphy, that is an excellent takeaway because the truth of it is moving forward, and no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, you're always going to find yourself working in some capacity with other people, working on teams. And the reality is, it doesn't matter who you are or what are you doing. Everybody's got something to offer. Everybody's got a role to play. And so I love that, at least for you and hopefully for the others too. It sounds like in working with the team and having to communicate and sort of revisit how we communicate in the middle of COVID and et cetera, organizing and coordinating, that those are real lifelong skills, whether it's school, work, or your family. It's all of the above. I love that. That's amazing.
I think I learned how to be more open with others and like be able to communicate better. I mean, I'm very like reserved and I don't really like to share how I'm feeling, but I felt like I was able to connect with these people a lot more as we continue to meet and grow and be able to share my own ideas.
And I definitely feel like I've gotten a lot better with planning. And a lot of that is thanks to Pierce because he kind of kept us on track for not jumping to our solution and not jumping to kind of figure that stuff out. And so I feel like that has really been helpful.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I agree with Murphy in the way that working with groups and other people, almost like half the things we do in schools with other people in groups. So this will definitely help with that too.
I think we learned a lot about pacing and kind of pacing ourselves because one way that Pierce really did that was he buried it into our skulls that we had like these different techniques that we were learning from like the second we got into these meetings. It was like take 5, you're gonna go. Oh, what was the other one? It was like the exploration one or whatever it is. But he drilled that into our skulls from the very second we got into this, and I think it really ended up helping us. I first thought it was this is really stupid, but then I was like Hey, this actually is really helpful because we're hearing everyone's ideas and we're getting the best possible solution where everyone's involved. And that really helped us get a better final product than if we had just been like, oh, here's one or two things, but I have like 20 different things I haven't shared yet. I feel like getting everything out there was really big for us.
Riley, I love that so much because it sounds like in working with Mr. Watson, you know, you've identified different ways to gather feedback, to gather ideas when you're working on a team. And the reality is, and I can just speak to this from, 15 years in the workforce, whether it's education, finance, or food and beverage, you pick up skills, you pick up different sort of tricks to just get participation, to get engagement, to hear from people who perhaps like Sophia, maybe initially they're like, I have my ideas, but I'm not quite ready to share. And that's okay, Sophia, because look, there's a whole bunch of different people in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth of it. And oftentimes it's the people who are the quietest, okay, who do have the best ideas because they're thinking so much. You know what I'm saying? And now through this team, it's like you have Riley and Ian and the whole crew. They know how to get those good ideas from everybody. Because again, this is something we had mentioned before we even got into the presentation. No one has a monopoly on good ideas. You know what I'm saying? We all bring something to the table. I love that. I love that. There was a comment here about the maturity, the comfort level of your presentation, your pitch. I think this is from Thomas Sauls, Mr. Sauls. I could not agree with that more. I mean, I'm so impressed by this group. I honestly, I'm over here actively thinking, taking notes. What else am I doing in the city of Raleigh where I can work with these kids? I mean, you're too talented. You're too talented. Do you need a recommendation? I'll write you a recommendation. You're too good. You're too good. There's another, I think, a question here. If given the opportunity, would you do this again? Would you do this again? That's from Mr. Walker. Or wait, that might be Miss Walker. Regine Walker. Would you do it again? That's the question, though. That's a question for you.
I think I would. I think I'd do it again. Yeah. I think that being in this group helped me like it even more. So if I was working with a tough group and just it was I don't know, I just felt comfortable with this group and sharing ideas, and it just really helped me make this fun experience, because if I'm not working with good people, then I'm just not going to enjoy it. But everyone put something on the table and everyone was super nice and fun to work with, and I'm all happy they go to my school. So yeah.
Murphy, I love that, and I appreciate just everything you said there. I think it's we always learn as we go. It's a constant process, and it's just good to hear that this has been a positive experience for you, that you would be happy to run back again. There's a comment here from Tara, I think Villon, about public speaking and how it's a skill that clearly all of you have demonstrated through your presentation, and how frankly, that's going to carry you very far in life. And it's just the truth, right? Your communication skills, your people skills, your ability to work with others, work with teams. I mean, these are things that you're going to be using in every sense of the word, in every future opportunity, whether it's school, work, or family. People skills and communication skills, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, it's going to be involved in everything that you do moving forward. The only other thing from there you have to sort of figure out is what it is you want to do, what it is you want to do. But as you explore and just sort of expose yourself to the world, you'll figure it out along the way. Nobody can tell you that. Only you can kind of identify for yourself what it is that really gets you excited, gets you up and out of the bed, each and every day. But you'll find that. It's just so impressive, all of you. Really impressive.
All right, y'all. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I would just like to say a few words. All of these students were really incredible throughout this process, and I think District C is really a fascinating thing because you do get to see people both out of their comfort zones and filling the roles that I think they feel comfortable with, and figuring all that out is sometimes as difficult as answering the problem that is being posed. So super proud of all of you. yeah, I'm really blown away. Just as blown away. I'm just echoing what Nick said. Just completely blown away by this presentation and by your hard work throughout this month. This is not an easy program. I think I told y'all that it would be fun, and hopefully it was fun. I had fun, but it is not easy. Riley's like, I don't know, it was kind of fun. Yeah, but definitely beneficial to everyone. For those parents who are here that are maybe trying to figure out what District C is, and if you want your students to be involved in the next cycle, certainly contact me. We'll be doing another one in April. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming and supporting the students, and thank you to Nick and Rachel for coming and engaging with us here, and hopefully you'll be able to turnkey some of these solutions.
Mr. Watson, if I can just say one last thing here, I think in part I feel so excited about this, not just because these ideas are real, they're actionable. I mean, they're terrific. But what's more exciting than all of that, it's really the students here. There's so much going on in the world that is absolutely crazy. But then to be on a call, okay, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's my birthday, whatever, okay, to hear from the talent, the thoughtfulness, from the future. I mean, I'm bearing witness to the future right now, and let me tell you something, I'm much happier about it. I feel much better about it. Each and every single one of you. You are going to be contributors to our community, to our society, and we are going to be better for it. So thank you in advance. Seriously, I mean that. I'm thrilled just to know you, to meet you, and I really do hope that at least I personally, whether it's through the property or through other works, I hope that I have the privilege of being able to work with you again. I really do. So just nothing else. Just know it means a lot to me to see you, to hear you, and to know that you're working right here in our backyard. So thank you.
Nick, we planned this as your birthday gift, so you're welcome for that. But yeah, just to kind of echo what Nick and Pierce have said, when Pierce and I were talking about this like 3 months ago or so, we were kind of wondering if any students would even want to do something extra on top of everything else. I wouldn't, if you were to ask me now, much less as a teenager. So to see how impressive this has been, and for this, I wish y'all could have seen. Obviously, you've seen their presentation skills, and I had several texts during this from other people in the meeting that have been talking about how this, for me, is better than most Google Meets or Zooms I've been on with adults in terms of the presentation skills and level of presentation. But just to see them from the get-go kind of get out of their comfort zones and tell each other kind of like what their strengths and weaknesses are working with a group, and have each other kind of asking one another like how they could help with that and how they could help them feel more comfortable in the group and leverage their strengths, those kind of things. It's just been really awesome to see. So I appreciate the 5 of y'all just kind of taking faith in this being something that would be cool or interesting or different to do, and running with it and being flexible. And thanks. And obviously thanks to Nick for throwing this idea out, and Pierce for coaching him.
All right, y'all. Well, that concludes the District C pitch event. So y'all are welcome to go. Thank you so much for coming. Students, just stick around for a second. But yeah, thank y'all so much.
Thank you guys. Have a good day. It's nice to meet you all.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Great job. Great job. Best wishes moving forward.
Thank you.
Guys, that was so good. That was incredible. I mean, really, I'm truly blown away. I'm not just,